One Zambia, One Nation, a warm welcome to Zanis News, the headlines. President Hichilema calls for stronger bonds with China and Denmark. Commerce Minister urges Canada to expand investment across more sectors. Government launches CDF communications strategy. And Chief Ishindi pledges support to President Hichilema. With the news in detail, my name is Faith Katai and my sign language interpreter is Joas Shikombwe. President Hakainde Hichilema has called on China and Denmark to continue partnering with Zambia in many areas of cooperation to further the bilateral relations for increased trade and investment. Meanwhile, President Hichilema says the partnership between Zambia and China has been fortified through various historical milestones, including the construction of the Tanzania-Zambia Railway, which is crucial to the country. The head of state was speaking when he received letters of credence from new Chinese ambassador to Zambia and Danish ambassador to Zambia at State House today. Details in this report by Sande Bwalia.
President Hakainde Hichilema has reiterated government's commitment to continue partnering with Denmark and China to enhance trade and investments.
Zambia and China entered formally. I know before our independence, China supported our liberation struggle. But after our independence, China and Zambia formally entered into a bilateral relationship in 1964. So we are 60 years old today. This year, so to say. And we celebrate this partnership, which has basically seen huge areas or examples of partnership. Working together, people to people, government to government, and business to business now. And going back to landmarks such as the Tazara development, China, Tanzania, Zambia, when Zambia most needed the route to the sea, following the political issues on our southern part because of the countries that were not yet independent, which was the only route we had to the sea through Zimbabwe, then Southern Rhodesia. That route was not available. And People's Republic of China came to the aid of Zambia to open up our market to the sea through Tazara. We really appreciate, and building on to other leaders from China, from Zambia that continue to work together to orchestrate, to deepen this partnership to ourselves now, President Xi Jinping and myself, for the people of the Republic of China, for the people of Zambia. We're very grateful to the King of Denmark. Very grateful to him and the government and the people for allowing you to save them and the people here, to save the people of Zambia and our government as partners. You have well articulated the history, our history, your support towards our independence struggle, very well appreciated. Our partnership over years. I remember as a young graduate from university, I used to do some work for Danish projects in this country.
New Chinese ambassador to Zambia has praised President Hakainde Hichilema's commitment towards improving the economic outlook of the country.
China and Zambia enjoys a profound traditional friendship. This year marks the 60th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between China and Zambia. Looking back at the 6 decades of friendship and practical cooperation, the China and Zambia relations features prominently as people-oriented, strategic, and just. China has always viewed and remained relations with Zambia from a strategic height and long-term perspective. In recent years, with the personal attentions and strategic guidance of President Xi Jinping and Your Excellency, the two countries has deepened mutual political trust.
Earlier, new Danish ambassador to Zambia has called on the international community to rally behind Zambia as the country responds to drought. Sandra for Zanis in Lusaka.
And President Hakainde Higa has directed newly appointed Central Province Minister Mwabashiki Nkulukusa to fully develop the agriculture sector in the province to enhance food security amid the drought. And President Higa has urged Mr. Nkulukusa to formalize the illegal mining taking place in the province. He said this when he saw in Mr. Nkulukusa at State House today. More in the following report.
President Hakainde Higa has sworn in Central Province Minister Mwabashiki Nkulukusa with the directive to him to work towards making the province a food basket.
So you'll be leading one of the 10 provinces, and a very, very critical province in terms of food production. Traditionally, it's been like that, save the drought that we are experiencing this year, which has caused food insecurity, energy insecurity, but also consequentially other insecurities in the economy, in our national economy. But we believe this is a temporal setback. It's an opportunity. God has opened our eyes to look at our energy, our food production from a different angle, to be able to be resilient, to be able to also engage, since you are Minister Central Province, agriculture in a different way. Which way? Irrigation-driven agriculture. And Central Province must rise to this challenge. We must water harvest, which we are. We've begun to do that already. We have some water harvested already in the province. We maximize those. Momboshi Dam, for example. We must make sure that all the hectareage around Momboshi, you as minister, physically take a visit to Momboshi. You may have been there, but now in your new role, take a trip to Momboshi. Bring the farmers together, get them to utilize that hectareage around that investment.
He also urged him to end illegal mining and formalize the sector to generate revenue.
The mining sector, Central Province, can contribute more. Have a look at what's happening in Chamuka, around the gold issues there, what's happening in Mumba, what's happening in Mukushi, you know very well, Old Mukushi, Mansa. We don't want illegal mining. We want legal mining. Legal, safe mining, but also off-take agreements. Contact ZCCMIH, Minister of Mines. That's your primary role, to make sure that the gold aggregator is operationalized.
And Mr. Nkulukusa has promised to hit the road running and work to change the economic outlook of the province.
I think I'll be looking at turning Central Province to be among the top 3 contributors to the growth of the economy, and putting food security and agriculture on the top priority, but not forgetting what are known as basic amenities, like he said, education, health care, and water reticulation. Formalization of most of the mines. There's a lot of illegal mining taking place, and illegal mining has got its own challenges. Number one, if it is not formalized, it will not create jobs, because people that will come and do that mining are just interested in hit and run.
Sandra for Zanis in Lusaka.
Meanwhile, President Hakainde Higa is tomorrow expected in Northern Province to grace the Ukusefya Pangwena traditional ceremony of the Bemba-speaking people. Provincial Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu disclosed the development during a media briefing at his office in Kasama today. Details in this report.
Republican President Hakainde Higa is tomorrow expected in Kasama District, Northern Province, where he will attend the Ukusefya Pangwena traditional ceremony of the Bemba people. Northern Province Permanent Secretary Bernard Mpundu disclosed that the Republican President will land in Kasama District around 9 hours and proceed to Mungu District, where the ceremony will be held.
The President, it is expected that he will land in Kasama about 9 hours. And you arrive at Ingwena around 10 hours. While there, you'll be able to pay a courtesy call on November the 2nd, and proceed thereafter to pay a courteous call on all Royal Highnesses.
And the Permanent Secretary has urged the people in the province to welcome the President.
We are grateful on behalf of the people of Zambia and on behalf of the people of Northern Province that the President has taken it as a priority to visit the countryside, particularly here in Northern Province. We're very, very grateful to His Excellency. I just want to take up this opportunity to invite everyone around here in Kasama and Northern Province, to those who cannot make it, to come and welcome His Excellency the President. I think we must be very, very happy people.
The Ukusefya Pangwena traditional ceremony of the Bemba people of Northern and Muchinga provinces is held at Ingwena village in Mungwi district. For Zanis in Kasama, I'm Taonga Nkoma.
President Hakainde Higa has invited to State House a 53-year-old Mansa woman who went back to school following the reintroduction of free education policy. President Higa will be hosting Josephine Lifasi, who started her grade 11 at Namwandwe Combined School in Mansa district in Luapula province after dropping out 33 years ago. Here are the details.
In an inspiring turn of events, President Hakainde Higa has invited a 53-year-old woman from Mansa district to State House. This woman, Josephine Lifasi, symbolizes the power of second chances and the impact of the reintroduced free education policy under the new Dawn administration. Miss Lifasi's journey is remarkable. 33 years after dropping out of school, she returned to the classroom at Namwando Combined School in Mansa District, Luapula Province. Now, she has completed her secondary education and has enrolled to study social work at Casia College's seminary and universities in Lusaka. In June 2022, her determination and story were highlighted by this reporter and aired on ZMBC TV. This feature caught the attention of the head of state during the 68th Local Government Association of Zambia Annual Conference and the 21st Amical General Assembly at Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka. President Higa shared the news of Miss Lifasi's upcoming visit to State House.
It's now happening. As a consequence of that, we have a surge of young people who were out of school but school-going age now are back in school, including elderly people. I was watching television one day. A 54-year-old woman in Mansa went back to school after the reintroduction of free education. And she's starting a new career. So you have to have a classroom for her. Where is the mayor for Mansa? You are there. Murishan, Avena Mansa. You have to make classroom space available for such a mother. Can you find that lady? The president wants to talk to that lady. Minister, local government, PS, Secretary of Cabinet, you are here. The president would like to have a conversation with that lady that I only saw through a television clip to encourage her. I have some words for her.
President Hichilema's invitation to Miss Lifasi is a recognition of her courage and perseverance, reminding everybody that it's never too late to pursue education and change one's life. For Zanis TV, Godfrey Chikombi reporting in Mansa.
In other news, Minister of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mlenga, has employed Canadian investors to consider investing in other sectors apart from mining. Mr. Mlenga says government recognizes the investments by Canada in the mining sector through mining corporations such as Barrick. He has assured that Zambia is ready to enhance economic relations with Canada. The minister said this during the African Chamber of Business reception in Lusaka last night. Details in the following report.
Zambia and Canada have for decades enjoyed good bilateral relations in various sectors, including mining and development cooperation, among others. This relationship has been enhanced further through the addition of Zambia to the Canada Chamber of Business. Minister in charge of Commerce, Trade and Industry, Chipoka Mulenga, officiated at the reception organized to celebrate this milestone and called on Canada to explore more areas of collaboration with Zambia.
But we also call upon yourself and your government to not only work in the extractive industry, but invest now more in the manufacturing sector. It is through that where we are going to develop and improve the living standards of our people. It is through manufacturing, improving or enhancing value chains, where we can learn and interact more with each other. We look forward to learning from you, like you said, and us and you from ourselves. It is only through mutual benefit, mutual success, where there will be mutual respect.
Earlier, visiting Canadian Parliamentary Secretary to the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Robert Oliphant, highlighted the importance of the addition.
Zambia and Canada are very much on each other's radar. It is because we share more than business interests, we share core values. We're democracies. We're Commonwealth siblings. We share an understanding of the rule of law and the importance of peace going hand in hand with prosperity. We are engaged every day to make not only our own countries better, but our world a better and a safer place.
Mr. Oliphant also stated that Canada empathizes with Zambia, which has been hit by climate change.
This government has been working very hard to mitigate the effects of climate change, but you don't do it alone. And it's something our whole planet will have to engage in constantly. Even in Canada, as we speak, we have faced devastating extreme weather events, particularly with wildfires again this season. And so we recognize that while drought happens here, water levels are changing in some countries, wildfires are happening in Canada, we have to be always mindful of our environment. And what we have been saying steadily is that good business is good for the environment, good environmental practices are good for business, and they go hand in hand.
Speaking during the same reception, Canadian Ambassador to Zambia, Carl Nunes, also shared his thoughts on the milestone collaboration.
A number of Canadian companies are present in the market here and have taken note, and we've had some more recent investments in the sector from companies like Barrick, and I think it's obviously a show of confidence in Zambia. They don't take these large investments lightly, and I think that they've been attracted to the business environment, and I think it's really important, obviously, to maintain that perspective and looking at the interests of both the domestic private sector and the foreign investors, and I think that's what we've seen in some of these investments.
Sarah Miti reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
We take our first break. Join us for more news when we return.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conduct that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Welcome back. We continue with the news. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, has announced that mayors, town clerks, and council secretaries in all local authorities are now eligible for public financial aid through access to loans under the Public Service Microfinance Company. Mr. Nkombo announced the development on behalf of President Hakainde Higa. The minister said this when he officiated at the 2024 Local Government Excellency Awards and Awards for Women in Local Government in Lusaka last night, organized by the Local Government Association of Zambia. And speaking at the same event, Local Government Excellency Awards Committee adjudicator John Banda bemoaned the low number of entries by local authorities for the awards. He disclosed that only 14 out of 116 local authorities sent in their entries. Mr. Banda further said 10 distinguished women that currently work as councillors or officers took part in the individual awards that were sponsored by the Federation of Canadian Municipalities.
To inform you, to let you know that our president, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Higa, has directed that all mayors, all council chairpersons, and also councillors must now, from this moment, be eligible to access loans from the Public Service Microfinance Bank. And the principal officers have since been asked to facilitate this. What this means is that he's walking his talk each time he's said, whether you are in the opposition, as long as you are elected, post-election, you work for the government and therefore you qualify. The interest rate on this same facility is only 9%. What that means, thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. What this means is that you can go borrow money to buy farm implements if you want. You can borrow money to buy a tractor. You can borrow money to buy a motor vehicle for mobility. You are just as good today, after this pronouncement, as the permanent secretary who has had this facility to go into the Public Service Bank and borrow money and pay only at an interest rate of 10%. I think this is a good gesture and the president deserves a round of applause.
The committee was very impressed with the quality of submissions from the local authorities. The competition was very tight, such that the local authorities were separated by just a few points. The committee was equally impressed with the initiatives and the various projects that local authorities have come up with in line with the devolved functions. These were very, very good projects, and guest of honor, the Adjudication Committee is recommending that the Minister of Local Government should really follow up on these submissions. If they can be nurtured, incubated, they can grow into high-impact projects. The committee was also very impressed with the submissions from the women in local government. They are doing quite a lot, most of them actually going beyond their core of duty, going beyond their terms of reference. So the
government says the decentralization of the Constituency Development Fund, CDF functions, has enhanced access to public services and participation by communities. Minister of Local Government and Rural Development, Gary Nkombo, notes that decentralization is critical for development as it empowers local governments to make decisions closer to the communities they serve. The minister was speaking during the launch of the CDF Communications Strategy and Branding Guidelines demonstration of the CDF dashboard. Details in this report by Audrey Kalenga.
The Constituency Development Fund CDF in Zambia, established 29 years ago, aims to enhance local development by financing community projects such as schools and health facilities. Its effectiveness is often hindered by limited community involvement and awareness, calling for reforms to better align with community needs and enhance participation. This is why the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development has launched the Constituency Development Fund CDF Communication Strategy. The ministry has also launched the CDF Branding Guidelines as well as the Communication Dashboard.
As of this launch of the Constituency Development Fund, Communication Strategy and the Branding Guidelines, as well as the demonstration of this CDF Dashboard. These three documents and initiatives are part of government's continuous effort to ensuring that our citizens remain not only well informed about the Constituents Development Fund, our flagship program, but also that they become active participants in the success of this program for the betterment of the country and also the well-being of our citizens.
Secretary to Cabinet Patrick Kangwa, who was represented by Cabinet Office Permanent Secretary, Special Duties, has called for more effort to raise awareness on CDF.
These initiatives are key to the implementation of the CDF and critical to ensuring that the benefits of the CDF reach every corner of our nation. Ladies and gentlemen, decentralization by devolution of functions with matching resources is top on government's development agenda. This has been emphasized by the Republican President, Mr. Hakainde Higa. In line with this agenda, Cabinet Office is keen on promoting the effective and efficient implementation of the CDF as government's flagship program for decentralization.
Beneficiaries from different constituencies were also present to testify of how CDF has changed their lives.
I further want to extend my deepest appreciation to the CDF for their invaluable sponsorship. Before CDF came in, it was a struggle, and let me tell you this, it really was a struggle. My mom had to make a lot of calls to relatives, begging to just top up upon my school fees. It has been hectic ever since we lost my father, who was the breadwinner of the family. Your support means the world to me.
To mention a few, I had 3 workers when I started. Today, because of the CDF, under the leadership of Mr. Hakainde Higa, through the Minister of Local Government, through my MP, lastly to the councillor, today I have 7 workers.
Speaking at the same event, head of Presidential Delivery Unit, Kusobiro Kamwambi, commended the Minister of Local Government for formulating the communication strategy as it to enhance access to CDF information.
Dear Honorable Minister, at the Presidential Delivery Unit, we firmly believe that empowering local communities to make decisions about their development is essential for sustainable progress. The Constituents Development Fund demonstrates this belief, serving as a critical instrument to bring development closer to the people. By decentralizing fiscal space, then we decentralize decision-making processes as well. We ensure that development initiatives are tailored to the unique needs of each constituency and individual members therein. Ladies and gentlemen, the Presidential Delivery Unit, working with the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development, is dedicated to unlocking bottlenecks in the delivery of CDF to the citizens by ensuring that every kwacha allocated through the CDF is utilized effectively and efficiently.
By clearly articulating objectives and engaging communities, citizens can better understand their roles and available opportunities within the CDF framework. Audrey Kalenga, for Zanis in Lusaka.
The International Monetary Fund, IMF, and United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, UNECA, have predicted a positive economic outlook for Zambia in 2025. IMF resident representative in Zambia and African Department, Eric Lotier, says this is because of the strong fiscal commitment exhibited by the government to attain economic recovery. Mr. Lotier notes that despite the drought that has affected many countries in Southern Africa, Zambia's economic recovery and growth is still expected to rebound from 2.3% in 2024 to 6.6% in 2025. Speaking in an interview with Zanis in Lusaka, Mr. Lotier explains that restoring debt sustainability, which is supported by strong commitment to fiscal consolidation, hence the fiscal performance for Zambia in 2023 surpassed expectations and the target. He said due to this commitment, despite the 2024 budget being revised to consider the drought response in line with the IMF program and also the prioritization of spending to accommodate emergency relief, the economic outlook has remained resilient. Mr. Lotia also cited the external support that the country has received through the emergency social cash transfers as having an impact to attain economic stability. He added that for the Southern African region, after 2 years of declining growth, the outlook is expected to grow and rise from 3.4% in 2023 to 3.8% in 2024. Meanwhile, UNECA Sub-Regional Office for Southern Africa Economic Affairs, Oliver Maponga, says the current economic challenges that Zambia is going through is replicated in many other African countries. Copperbelt Province Minister Elisha Matambo has urged the Competition and Consumer Protection Commission to find amicable measures to protect about 5,000 workers who are at the verge of losing employment following the ban of importation of beverages and lime by the Democratic Republic of Congo, DRC. Speaking when Competition and Consumer Protection Commissioner Sinkamba Musune called on him, Mr. Matambo observed that some consumers are not aware of the right offices to report to whenever they notice a problem in terms of goods and services. Meanwhile, Mr. Musune pledged his commission's commitment to address challenges that consumers are currently experiencing.
We obviously take cognizance of the activities that are happening on the Copperbelt, and we are involved in approving measures, for example, or investments, and therefore the Mopani investments excites us, and obviously through the regional body of COMESA, Competition Commission, that's where such things are actually dealt with because of the presence of the investor who's across many countries in Africa. Honorable Minister, through approving measures, we contribute in a way to foreign direct investments in the country, and you may be happy to hear that in the last couple of months, we have actually facilitated through approval measures FDI of around $60 million into the country. In addition to that, part of our mandate is to safeguard jobs.
I think you've mentioned that you go beyond the boundaries of Zambia to try and do your work. Is what's happening. The latest program we have on the Copperbelt, where the lime companies, mining companies, have been stopped from exporting lime to DRC. And not just lime, including other things like drinks and other things. I know that we are trying to sort out that issue at the highest level, but I think it's your responsibility too to make sure that there's a level playing field so that our people don't lose jobs.
Ukusefya Pali Milando, which marks the beginning of the Ukusefya Pangwena traditional ceremony meant to highlight the birth of Ngwena village in Mungwi district, has been held. Let's take our second break. Stay tuned.
Woman Thou Art is a program that offers counsel to the female folk, sharing real-life experiences and providing guidance to the women and young girls on necessary steps and conducts that will help shape and nurture a sober society. Watch Woman Thou Art on Zanis TV every Wednesday at 18:30 hours on the Topster channel, channel 6 DTT, and channel 458 DTH.
Welcome back. You are still watching Zanis News. A two-day Africa Children Pre-Summit has commenced in Lusaka at Mlungushi International Conference Center that has seen over 100 children from all the 10 provinces of Zambia gathered to discuss pertinent issues affecting children in the region. The pre-summit, being held under the theme Seen, Heard and Engaged, aims at improving the lives of the children through collaborative efforts of the government and other stakeholders. We have details in this report.
Over 100 children from all parts of the country have gathered at the Mulungushi International Conference Center in Lusaka for a 2-day Africa Children's Pre-Summit ahead of the main summit that will take place in South Africa. The purpose of the pre-summit is to provide a platform for children across Africa to voice their aspirations for a brighter future.
The children of Africa are facing so many challenges when it comes to child marriage, exploitation, sexual abuse, climate change and the like.
So one of the outcomes that we look forward to after the summit is that there will be increased child participation and also a draft communique that is going to be shared at the Men's Summit in South Africa next year.
The Africa Children's Summit was graced by Minister of Community Development and Social Services Director in charge of the Department of Child Development, Beatrice Muyambango.
And the theme for our gathering for this year is seen, heard, and engaged. The essence of this theme resonates deeply with our collective vision for the future of Zambia's children. The new Dawn government, led by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Zambia, Mr. Hakainde Higa, has been steadfast in its commitment to promoting and protecting children's rights.
The meeting was attended by various stakeholders.
This is the first time that we've got a law that recognizes and protects children in this country 100%. So we might have 1 or 2 key issues and replacement orders for various other statutory instruments that country needs to be tied up. But we have the law, which is one of the very, very big developments in this country.
Mijelo Mwemba reporting for Zanis in Lusaka.
Senior Chief Ishindi of the Lunda people in Zambezi district of North-Western Province has pledged to support President Hakainde Higa beyond 2026. The chief says President Higa and the United Party for National Development, UPND government, have full support of the Lunda royal establishment. Speaking when officials from Cabinet Office paid a courtesy call on him at his palace, Senior Chief Ishindi also commended President Higa for accepting the invitation to be the guest of honor at his year's Lunda Lwanza ceremony. The traditional leader expressed his delight at the president's confirmation, adding that the entire traditional leadership and people of Zambezi eagerly await his presence. The senior chief also revealed that 7 Angolan chiefs have also arrived in the district, adding that more are expected to attend the forthcoming event. And delegation leader Evaristo Makwaya, who is also the Deputy Director in the Ministry of Youth, Sport and Arts, said the team is in the district to work with local leadership to ensure the seamless success of the ceremony. Mr. Makwaya added that their presence in the district is in a bid to strengthen the cooperation and mutual respect between traditional leaders and the government by fostering community development. He further wished Senior Chief Ishindi well for the upcoming celebration and assured him of government continued support. 20 cows from Nyampande Chiefdom in Lusangazi district of Eastern Province have been recovered. The incident is believed to have occurred between August 6th and 7th of 2024. Here is a report.
Little did the owners of these cows know that the animals they were looking for will one day be found in such a dramatic way. The 20 cows, valued at 119,500 kwacha, were loaded in this truck for a known destination. The owners cannot stop thanking Yohani Piri, who was able to identify one of the cows belonging to his uncle. He alerted his uncle until all the other owners who lost their animals surfaced and conducted an identification parade. Agnes Tembo is a brave woman who approached the driver of the truck, who later booted after noticing that things were getting sour. And one of the owners cannot hide his excitement. Eastern Province Police Commanding Officer Robson Mwemba says the driver is still on the run, but the cows were taken to court and owners got them. Helen Chisha reporting for Zanis in Lusangazi District, Eastern Province.
Casia Business and Secretarial College of Pemba District, Southern Province yesterday celebrated the graduation of 100 students during its 12th and 5th convocation ceremony, where 15 graduates were sponsored under the Constituency Development Fund CDF. Details in this report.
Over 100 students have graduated from Casia College in Pemba District of Southern Province. 15 of the graduates were sponsored under the Constituency Development Fund CDF, demonstrating government's commitment to skills development in the area. Pemba Constituency Member of Parliament Lamek Hamwata has praised the college's partnership with government in training local youths.
We have quite a number of students who we are paying for. I think we are spending closer to $1 million. And I wish to state that the wish of the government is to support our youths. And that's the reason we have this skills training.
And Southern Province Permanent Secretary Dr. Naman Monze, representing the Minister of Science and Technology Felix Mutati, has challenged the college to leverage the over 1 million kwacha received annually from the CDF to achieve self-reliance.
As a management, a board, let's also be innovative to take advantage of this resource that government has decided to bring to the people. This 1 million could have gone somewhere else, but in his wisdom, the President of the Republic of Zambia decided it comes to institutions like Casia.
Representing the University of Zambia Vice Chancellor, Professor Masie has emphasized the role of universities in driving economic growth and sustainability.
Universities should be viewed really as not only engines of economic growth, but also champions of sustainability, shaping a better future for us all.
Meanwhile, Bishop Raphael Mwempwa of Monze Diocese and Casia College Principal Brian Mwanankulo have expressed their gratitude for government support, particularly in providing bursaries and partnering with the church to serve the community.
The church fully supports government's initiative to bring on board technical skills courses for our young people as a way of fostering the spirit of self-reliance and entrepreneurship, with a view to reduce the rampant unemployment that exists, especially among the youths.
Allow me to acknowledge and appreciate the continued support that the college is receiving from the government. From this support, the college has been able to administer the day-to-day operations.
Chintunangamba, for Zanis News in Pemba District, Southern Province.
On that note, we've come to the end of the news, but before we go, a reminder of the headlines. President Hichilema calls for stronger bonds with China and Denmark. Commerce Minister urges Canada to expand investment across more sectors. Government launches CDF communications strategy. And Chief Ishindi pledges support to President Hichilema. That is all we had for you on Zanis News. On behalf of the entire Zanis production team and my sign language interpreter, Joas Shikombwe, this is Faith Katai. Goodbye.